It's time for the new Super Mario Bros. Wii review for the Wii. This game has the same layout as New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. If you've ever played the DS version, you'll basically know what to expect in this game. The story is very shallow, but it's there nonetheless. It's Peach's birthday, and Mario, Luigi, and a couple of Toads are with her celebrating. Just then, a huge birthday cake appears out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, Bowser Jr. and his siblings pop out of the cake. Oh no! They kidnap Peach and take her to Bowser's flying pirate ship. As it flies away, Mario, Luigi, and the two Toads run after it. So to get to Princess Peach, you have to make your way through 8 different worlds. This game looks and plays like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World fused into one. If you've ever played those two, or at least one of those Mario games, which I actually don't know anyone who hasn't, you'll know what I mean. Probably the most noticeable new feature of this game is that now instead of just one player, you can play with up to 3 other friends in a co-op mode. I thought this was a cool idea, but when I actually played it for a while, I found it to be less enjoyable than single player mode. This is because it is very easy to accidentally kill your friends as you're playing. This is due to the programming of the game. When you're playing co-op, you can't move past another player unless one of you moves out of the way, and you will always jump on each other's heads instead of falling right next to them. This setup can become so frustrating. I wish the developers created the gameplay like Brawl. In Brawl, you can walk right past or even through your opponent. Now you can jump on each other's heads if you do it right, but that's not really the point. The point is that you will always jump on each other's heads in this game, which can easily cause the other players to die. But since I know that some of you love co-op mode in this game, I do have to say in a kind of twisted way, even though co-op mode can be very frustrating, it is more fun than single player mode. Single player mode is like 10 times less frustrating, but it really isn't as fun as co-op mode. So both have their pros and cons, but I still think I prefer single player mode. When you're playing co-op mode, whenever a player dies, they will lose a life, but will return a few seconds later floating in a bubble. You can choose whether you want to let them out or not, which is actually a good idea if you're in a really tight spot in the level, or if you just want to be mean. One feature that I really liked was that Nintendo added Yoshi. I was pretty disappointed when Yoshi wasn't in the DS version, so I'm happy they added him back into this game. After you play a few levels in the world, you will come to a mini castle where you have to fight one of the Koopas. After you defeat that castle, you will play a few more levels until you get to the main castle of the world. You'll then again fight the same Koopa, only in a different scenario. After you defeat that castle, you move on to the next world. There are many items which can give you different power-ups. The normal ones, like the mushroom and the fire flower, are here, but there are a few new ones as well. There's the propeller suit, which will let you fly up high off the ground, then gently flow you back down. The ice flower, which allows you to throw snowballs at your enemies to freeze them for a while, and the penguin suit, which acts just like the ice flower, only you can also slide on the ice and swim very well in the water. These items are great, but I was pretty disappointed to find out that Nintendo didn't add in the Mega Mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. DS. The graphics are great. Again, it's a Mario game, so it has that cartoony look to it, which I like. Everything is rich, vibrant, colorful, and smooth. The controls are great as well. You'll hold the Wiimote horizontally and use the D-pad to move, and the 1 and 2 buttons to run and jump. You can also use the nunchuck to move, but I didn't like this, so I just stuck to the Wiimote only. Once in a while, you'll come to certain parts of a level where the motion controls will play a part. I thought this was a pretty cool idea. All of the levels have very creative and interesting designs, but like New Super Mario Bros. DS, I felt like there just weren't enough levels. I was pretty disappointed about this. Don't get me wrong, all of the levels are very fun to play, but it just felt like completing the world didn't take too long to do. Now, I do think that most of the levels were extended to last longer, as opposed to the DS version, but still, it would have been nice to have more levels. The boss fights were fun and creative, but a bit too easy for my taste, especially if you could shoot fire or ice. In addition to the main game, there were a couple of multiplayer battle games like who could get the highest score in a level, or the most coins in a level. Both are fun, but like the main game, it could become frustrating due to accidental deaths. But actually, since it was battle and not co-op, I guess it was better this way. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a fantastic game. Great graphics, great controls, fun crazy level designs, and the addition of co-op mode was a pretty cool idea. But some of the downsides, in my opinion, was that co-op mode can become very frustrating. I didn't think there were enough levels, the boss fights were a bit too easy for me, and last, I didn't like that the game case is colored red. What's wrong with having it white? I guess it's purposely supposed to stand out, but I would have liked it better if it was the standard white. But overall, it's still an excellent game. If you grew up with the 2D side-scrolling Mario games, or if you just like Mario games in general, you should definitely pick this game up. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome. Oh yes, and Merry Christmas.